Hey, this is Pat Gamble, defensive lineman from Georgia Tech, and you're listening to On the Fence Side.
It ain't the left side or the right side, then it must be the fence side. Inside. It ain't the left side.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of On the Fence Side. This is Paul Pickens Jr., and today we've got mammoth NFL draft prospect Brad Seaton, offensive lineman out of Villanova. Make sure you follow our show on YouTube, Spreaker, iTunes, and Stitcher, as well as on Facebook and Twitter. Brad, man, we're glad to have you, and a huge thanks for joining us today, man. How's it going with this whole process going on?
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. This process has been nothing short of amazing. It's extremely exciting and surreal to be in this position.
Tell us a little bit about your background, where you came from, how you got started with football, all that good stuff.
Well, I'm from the Bronx, New York. I started off with football at a later age. Most people have been playing since they're, 10, 11, or 12, but I didn't start until my later years of high school with my older brother when he was on the team, and he had me come out and join, and, I just loved it right away. I come from a big competitive family, so it was definitely a good outlet and a way for me to express myself, and I'm grateful to him for showing me that.
You come from a small school in terms of football terms. I know Villanova is more known for basketball. How do you feel that may have both helped you and hurt you during this whole process here?
It's helped me a lot, mainly because, like you said, it's a basketball school, and that puts us a chip on our shoulder from a team standpoint and developing characteristics and my personal values. It made me go out there and play football for me, for my family, for my teammates. And I think that's something that will take me a long way. And, as far as hurt me, maybe I wouldn't have as big of a name as I'd like, but, I'm exactly where I want to be, and I believe God has, a plan for everything. So I can't say that it has hurt me too much.
It's a fair answer. I like that. When I watched your game tape, I was a little surprised. I'll be honest, I hadn't watched you play until recently, watching tape of players leading up to the draft. I saw you putting a lot of players on the ground. Was pancakes a stat that you kind of tracked throughout things, or?
Absolutely. We had an intimidation board in our offensive line meeting room. So, if you play, 10 or more snaps and you don't have any intimidation blocks, which is a knockdown, a pancake, a cut block, then you get a frowny face. So obviously the goal is across the 5 linemen, you want to win and you want to have the most. So I definitely wanted to each game trying to win and compete and bury people and put them in the ground.
You said you got a frowny face if you didn't have any. What did you get if you did have a few, and varying levels of it?
Yeah, you get a sticker. So if you got a pancake, you'd get like an IHOP sticker and right next to your name. Or if a cut block, you'd get some scissors, or, a knockdown, you'd get, it was like a knight on a horse sticker that we got.
I got to say, man, it's watching offensive linemen. I love hearing that. That's one of those great things out there. I did notice that you play to the whistle. I know a lot of people don't expect, especially when a guy is your size, which I know you were 6'9", 311. I'm not sure how. I know you've been working out like crazy, so you probably bulked up a little since then. Mm-hmm. But I noticed you played a lot more nimble than a lot of people expected, and you got to the second level really effectively. Have teams appeared surprised when they've spoken to you about that at all, or what's the reaction been that you've gotten?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone that I've spoken with, whether it be, the college gridiron showcase that I did a while back ago or private workouts, they're extremely impressed with my size and my athleticism that comes with it.
Speaking about teams that you've spoken with, I know sometimes you're at liberty to say, sometimes you're not. I know there's been a lot of published reports about you meeting with various teams. Can you tell us some of the teams that you've met with?
Yeah, I've met with the Texans, the Vikings, the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Bills. I've met with the Raiders, the Jets, the Giants. I've met with most, if not all, of the teams at some point, whether it be in my season or after the season leading up to this point.
Given that our team is predominantly following the Dolphins, have you had much interaction with them, if you're at liberty to say?
You know what? I have not. That is one of the teams that I have not spoken with.
When you look at the next level, I know some teams may look at you as a left tackle, some may look at you as a right tackle. Where do you see yourself fitting, and do you see yourself even being able to kick inside potentially to guard?
I'm a hard worker. I think I can play all spots on the line. I'll learn how to snap if that's what I have to do to play at the next level. But I'll play right, I'll play left, and I'll play guard as well.
Now, what would you say are some of your biggest strengths as well as some of your biggest weaknesses?
Well, like you said, one of my biggest strengths is my athleticism, my size. I can use that to my advantage a lot as far as things that I am working on, just, technique and pad level, because, I am 6'9", so I do have to work on staying low, and I'm working on, developing my leg strength so I can, be nitty and gritty and move people out the trenches.
We hear every year, I know this is going to seem like an odd question, but every year we hear about a team meeting with prospects and asking really odd questions. And without naming names, I know you've met with a lot of teams. What's the weirdest question that you've gotten from an NFL representative or a scout or what have you?
I guess the weirdest question I got was, what's the state touching New York?
Okay.
It's, I'm from New York, so I kind of just thought to myself, like, what's he trying to get at here?
I'd say it's definitely one that would take me off balance.
Yeah.
I
wasn't expecting that at all.
When you get to the next level, what are some of the goals that you've set for yourself?
Well, I want to be a starter. I want to be a Pro Bowler, and I want to win a Super Bowl. And I know that, that's stuff that I have to develop in. So, my biggest goal is developing into the best I can be. And, I'm hopeful that it'll take me where I want to be.
All right. So on draft day, an NFL general manager, and in this case, because we are predominantly focused on the Dolphins, the majority of our listeners are Dolphins fan, I'm going to use Chris Greer. Chris Greer's sitting in the draft room. He's got your name and 3 other names sitting in front of him trying to decide who to take with his pick. What would you say personally to Chris to convince him that you are the guy to go with here?
Well, I'm going to tell him that I'm an extremely hard worker. Like I said, I want to develop into a Pro Bowler. So you pick me, you get a guy that's going to come to practice every single day and work on himself, work on making the people around him better, work on his technique, and, everything's going to be efficient, everything's going to be fast, everything's going to be strong. So you're going to get a real grinder out of me.
What advice would you give to young players that may want to follow in your footsteps and learn to play offensive line and play football at a high level?
I would just tell them to believe in the grind, to really embrace it, and not to short themselves, to take everything, seriously. Don't take anything for granted. Every rep, every drill, every play, every single day, you got to bring it and develop yourself.
What can fans expect from you? I know your agency is big on this. I know a lot of the teams out there get bigger and bigger on this every year. What are some things that fans can expect from you out in the community when you reach that next level?
Well, I'm a big spiritual person. I go to church, so I believe in, working with people, with fans. And I love children specifically, so, I definitely want to get out there and work with children. I love to, be involved. So, my degree is in sociology. So what I want to do if football doesn't work out is, I want to work with people. So when that's all said and done, while it's going on, I hope I can get out there and, help the community, because, where I'm at now, it gives me the power. People look up to me, and I take great pride in that, and I try to use it to touch those around me.
Draft day is coming up quick, or really the draft 3 days at this point. What are you going to do for draft day? I know you hear varying stories every year, from people that are going to go out on a boat with no cell reception to people that are going to sit home with their family the whole time, or go to Disney or what have you. So what are your plans personally?
No, I'm just going to be home with my family, sharing the moment with them.
Is there anything that you want to promote or talk about that we haven't touched on here? Get word out to fans, let people know something about you or something that's going on with you, or really anything. This is your soapbox to get up on here.
Nothing in particular. I can ask that you follow my journey on Instagram at Killabeaton. That's KILLABEATON. And, I want to express my gratitude for everyone that supported, pushed, and made this journey possible for me. It's, something that I can't live without. So I appreciate the blessings and opportunities I've had until this point.
All right, Brad, this is our last question for you here. And as I tell everybody that comes on the show, no one has gotten away from this show without answering this, whether it's the Dolphins CEO, whether it's NFL alumni and legends, and you name it, whether it's current players, whether it's prospects. You're in your car. You roll up to a red light. You've got your music player, whether it's your phone or an iPod or what have you, plugged into the stereo. You've got all the songs you've gotten there on a shuffle playlist. The song you're jamming out to ends, and there's one song somewhere on that iPod that you pray doesn't come on next for everybody to hear blaring out of that car, what song is it?
Oh, that's funny. Have you heard Woman's Work by Maxwell?
I have not, but I'm going to take a listen to it after this.
Oh, listen to it. That's the song that'll break me down at any time, no matter where I'm at. That's the one song I'm riding around with anyone I pray doesn't come on.
As soon as this interview gets over, I'm gonna take a listen to that there. So hey, huge thanks for joining us today, Brad. This was a lot of fun for me. Best of luck coming up in the NFL draft. For those listening out there, you can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. You can also catch our show out on YouTube, Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes. On behalf of myself, on behalf of Brian Catanzaro, you're listening on the Fin side. It's not on the right side. It's not on the left side. It is on the Fin side. Solo D, take us home.
It ain't the left side or the right side, then it must be the Fin side. It ain't the left side or the right side, then it must be the Fin side. Listen, Dolphins fans across the land all tuning in to see what Brian, Cat, and Paul about to do again. We rep our team, you can't change, stop, or ruin it. All we need is the